Well, welcome everybody. Been 3 days. The worst thing about building a lost foam wing is making all the parts. If you had all the parts, they go together really fast. So before the hangout tonight, I decided that I'm going to go ahead and glue this together. And as soon as some people get in here, we'll get to it. Normally, it takes a minute for the tubes to populate. We won't need that. So there we go. We got one up here. Alrighty, let's change camera views. All the pieces have been cut. Everything is done, ready to go. It's sitting in the cradle where they belong. I got my square handy. I'll take this off. We need to cut this other piece, this other trailing edge, to get a angle on it. So I want to tack this here. We need it to. What happened to my? There it is. We need a tighter joint here. Been kind of a dreary day today. It's been drizzling out. There we go. So we'll get a new snorkel on this because we don't want to use much glue. Want to use the least amount of glue I can because glue is heavy. There's no gas off in glue. And with any luck, I won't glue the center together so I can take it apart and get the sheeting on correctly. This wing should weigh about 5.5 ounces when done. Maybe 5.5. So we're going to put a drop of glue on the trailing edge right there. And now I want to cut this right here. Now we'll go ahead and we'll go down the way and glue these ribs in here. We'll take the square, make sure the rib is square to the buck. And that's actually very important to have the ribs square to the buck. That way the sheeting touches. Oh. it touches. Hey, afternoon, Steve. That way the sheeting touches everywhere. Ah, too much glue. This stupid thing is not flowing very good. So put a drop right there. Now I'm just putting a dot of glue on everything. I'll come back after I get it all together and detail glue it so that it's all glued together well. Okay, we got those ribs glued in, or maybe not this one. Nope, not that one. Okay. Doing exactly what I didn't want to do. It's running down into the foam. May have a problem there. But we shall see. No, maybe not. Oh. Okay, I need to angle this piece. Oh, that's silk span. Double aught silk span, lightest I can get. Okay, now let's make sure that this joint is perfect. So there and there, we got marks on all the ribs where that sheet goes. And then this sheet, So it's actually, I need to angle it a little more here. That's pretty good. Oh, it's not pretty good. Need a little more off of there. Actually, off of this one. Now, does it have to be this perfect? Probably not. But I'm trying to make this airplane. I got some inspiration from Wendy. I was watching Wendy tapes. So we're going to try to do a Wendy build. But 10 ounces lighter. You know what? Let's do it like this. That's perfect there. That goes there. About as good as I'm going to get it. That's about as good as she's going to get. Let me give you a view of what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get that center section perfect, which I did. So we got the trailing edge tacked in on this side. Sight down this, make sure it's not crooked. Pretty good, pretty awesome. Sight down this side. Straight as an arrow, that's good. Now we'll go down the way and glue these ribs in on this side. And it's kind of important that those ribs set 90 degrees to the buck. Otherwise, the wing is distorted. No, I hadn't glued anything on this wing at all, period, until we started this program. All this work I've been doing is simply making parts. So took me 3 days to make parts, which not really. I mean, it's not 3 10-hour days or anything, but I probably got a good 8 hours making parts in this. For 15 minutes of work to put it together, or maybe an hour. I don't know. It ain't going to take long. If this content helps you, please give me a like, a subscribe, consider joining, becoming a paid subscriber. I know times are tough, but the channel's really hurting. I'm down 17% from last month. It ain't from a lack of trying. I'm gonna have to relieve that there. It feels like. So we got a tight rib here. It doesn't want to play. So in order to fix that, I'll get a single edge razor blade. And it only takes less than a pencil mark to make it tight. I'll take this razor blade and cut right down the spar line. There it is. Any questions on lost foam wings? I'm not the inventor, but I've built a few of them. This is so far superior to the rod method, it's ridiculous. Or even an adjusto jig. That one's tight too. Yes, ribs are capped. I'll show you the whole process when I get to it. Leading edge sheeting is molded already. I probably won't get to putting that on in this video. But we'll get this cut free from the buck. Okay, all the ribs are glued in on the trailing edge side. And like I say, this is it's perfect when it's done. Well, there are a few things that you need to remember. You got to have this shim. This shim here needs to be the same thickness as your sheeting. That shim there needs to be the same thickness as your sheeting. That way it stays off the cradle, an even amount all the way around. Otherwise, you'll build a warp in it. Okay, now I need to go back through and we're going to glue this thing is ridiculous. We're going to glue all the ribs in the leading edge, top and bottom of the spar. I mean, I guess we'll glue the trailing edge too. Now, I'm doing this different than what a Lost Foam jig calls from. I'm using a 3/8 trailing edge, tapered, because I'm putting those hinges in that I use. Supposed to use a 3/16 or 3/16 piece in it, but I built a GeoWing of balsa and it was crazy rigid. I stumbled on this method somehow and it looks incredible. Oh, this is great. I'm gonna